We're good?
Going.
Okay. Now, before we start, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Having any affairs outside?
Yeah, maybe let's not talk about those.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kisscapades podcast. And I have a very lovely guest with me today. Good friend. I did her first video for the Olive's birthday. Yeah,
The best video that I have.
one of the best videos that I have on my collection as well.
Really?
My birthday rate card. Nobody has hired me for. Let me just put it this way: nobody has hired me for a birthday video.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the rate card that I put, the price tag that I put after realizing, like, yo, I can do this for a baby video.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I've been telling everybody to use you because that just makes me cry every time I watch it, even till today.
That was the whole intention.
Yeah.
But so now, before we even proceed, I want you to introduce yourself so that people can know who you are and what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Tatiana Karanja, but some of you may know me as Mama Olive, or maybe you just don't know me at all. I don't know. But I'm a photographer by profession, so I do a lot of photography. My passion in photography would be travel, food, and lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also a blogger on my Mama Olive platform, so I talk a lot about motherhood and just my whole journey with my kids and life as a whole.
Motherhood as well.
Yeah, motherhood, product. I mean, I just talk about my life. Anything that comes up
Anything.
in this.
And this is quite a big contrast. You know why? Because do you remember when I was doing with you like your first video, and then you're like, I don't like being on camera.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do, but I still have a problem. I don't know. There's a
come
difference.
on.
There's a difference when I'm like storying myself and just talking naturally than when I'm in this kind of situation.
No, but this is way too different. This is podcast, and after like 15-20 minutes, you kind of tend to forget you're actually
Being filmed.
being filmed. So I mean, just be aware, because I don't do a much of editing here.
Yeah.
But you see, like when I ask you, like, is there anything that you don't want to talk about?
Yeah.
Those are the things that I might actually start.
No, please don't.
Yeah. Because where else do you get the juice? Because like even for me, I'd be like, yo, I thought about it so much, and then I was like, before I start any podcast, let me just ask this person, like, what wouldn't you want to talk about? Then I'll be like, okay. So now I just know that I'm gonna throw them out there, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because the whole reason I started the podcast is just so that people can connect with real life situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Listen. First of all, just why you like this? It can't be that bad. Come on, chill out. So Sonny just left here, and then she was like, "Yo, John, I think you need to edit something out." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Yo, listen. This is just life, and I'm sure by the time the episode comes out, you might be even feeling differently about something, but it's important to have these conversations because so many different people are going through so many different things nowadays. And I think like on Instagram, somebody wouldn't know.
No, I completely agree. That's why
And
I
even
think
for you
my page is very
Yeah.
personal, and I'm very open. I mean, of course, there are things that I might not talk about, but I generally am very open with the things that I talk about because I feel like it's great to know that somebody else is going through the same thing that you're going through, and to like open up a space where you can have that conversation with other people is very important. So I completely agree with you. I mean, even though there are some
I'm
things
glad that you agree with me. I'm glad that you agree with me on that. So let's just start with, the podcast is about the 4 pillars of life. I don't know whether I told you about that. Health,
I think you did, but
health, wealth, love, and happiness.
yeah.
So you already know we're going to touch on all those things,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Which one do you
You
want to
told me
start with?
this at the opening.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like free cocktails. So I think that was really unfair.
So let's just start a bit with what you do for a living. Is it photography, right?
Yes.
That's like your main source of
Income.
Income,
Yes.
and you enjoy doing it as well. Would you say you're passionate, or it's the money that makes you?
No, I mean, I love photography and I started doing it because I love it. And I think at the beginning when I first started, I would take on a lot of jobs and things like that because I needed the money.
Yeah.
and I just kind of didn't know my self-worth. I think that's, I mean, like a lot of artists.
Yeah,
you know,
before you just
just
find your own.
Yeah, so that's how it started. But then I think, you know, after getting pregnant with my first child, I was like, there's no way I'm going to let people walk all over me. So now I'm kind of more selective with the jobs that I take on, which also at the end of the day makes me more happy with what I'm doing and makes me also produce better work.
Yeah.
And then apart from photography, I am now starting to make a little bit of money on my Mama Olive page as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is really great as well for me because, I mean, both jobs, like my time is so flexible. Yeah. I get partnerships with people that I really actually enjoy working with. Yeah, I know, it's been great. I got free Pampers. So, you know, for a mom, like, no, I mean, you know, it's been going well.
Good. And you see, like, probably a year ago, we were having a completely different, like, conversation. Yeah. Because just like, because a lot of people don't understand that you can actually make money through, like, just even your Instagram.
Yeah.
In Kenya.
Yeah.
For that matter, because people are like, no, that's just like a far-fetched idea that just works maybe in the States only.
Yeah.
And not in Kenya.
It happens. I mean, people are doing it.
And especially if you're making money with things like, you know, for you it's your kids and just the things that have evolved around like your normal lifestyle. What more would you want?
Yeah, exactly. I get to live out what I love doing, and then I get paid for it.
You hear that? I mean, I'm about to start manufacturing kids of my own. And dear baby mama, if you're listening to what she's saying right here, don't ask me for money for Pampers. Do you buy the Pampers?
Well, now I have again, but I mean, during that partnership, I mean, I made money for it, and I got like things like that lasted me months and months. Yeah.
Here's the blueprint. You can do it. So just before we get deep into that, like how did you get inspired to do like just photography? Because a long time ago, people used to look at it as like, you know, this is just like a man's kind of job.
I think even a long time ago, it was not even considered a proper job.
Yeah. I mean, nobody took it like. Yeah.
There was no photography in my school offered, and I went to different schools. I mean, I was in school here, I was in school in SA. It just wasn't offered, and I think, you know, it was one of those things when the first mobile phones came out, and I started taking pictures with the phone, and I was like, whoa, I really like this. But of course, I wasn't considering it to be something that I was going to take. And my grandfather gave me his camera, which was like a really old Canon, I can't even remember what, and I used to take pictures of wildlife, and I mean, that's how like the passion for photography grew. But I still didn't think about it as something that I would follow. So here I am, like stressing in school. Like school is just not for everybody, okay?
It's not.
It wasn't for me.
It's not.
So I was lucky enough to find this course online, and my parents were just like, you know what, go for it. Like follow your dreams and just do, you know, like if that's what you want to do, go and do it. So I was lucky enough to have a really supportive family, even though there were some people around me that were like, well, you should get a business degree in case,
a business degree.
Yeah, like you should do something in case like it fails. And I'm like, you don't tell somebody.
That's not a just in case. That's like, you know, stop this and actually do this.
Exactly, yeah. So I followed through, and I actually didn't even finish. I went to university in the Netherlands, so I went to Amsterdam first, and then I moved to The Hague. And it was a really great experience. I didn't finish uni there either. I still had 2 years left to go.
Yeah.
But I wasn't inspired there. I mean, it was a really great experience. I loved my friends. I loved the school I was at. I learned a lot, but I wasn't happy.
What were you studying?
Photography.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I just wanted to come home. I really missed being home. And like my dad had a really huge problem with it that I'm not finishing. And I was like, I'm going to show you when I get home what I can do. And as soon as I got back, I interned for Manuel Jumbo. Then I started doing it on my own, and it's worked today.
Actually, Manuel Jumbo was just here like a few episodes ago, and he was saying like, you know, like how he speaks highly of you.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Look at you. Wow.
Might have to give him a call.
Yeah, speaks highly of you. Poppy.
Yeah.
Who else? And you know, Emmanuel just made a whole different blueprint to how like even photographers locally can start getting paid way better.
Yeah.
And being taken more seriously. Because before him, we were just using a lot of photographers from either SA, UK or the States.
Yeah.
But you know, after he came all in, he's all African, he's super creative, and he just brought a whole different like ideology of like just an
Photographer,
like
yeah.
an African, like, you know, an actual African photographer.
Yeah, but
And-
you'd even be surprised at how many amazing photographers we have in Africa. And I
Yeah.
had to go outside to kind of figure that out. So now when I'm in Holland, and we had this thing weekly where we kind of present a photographer and how they inspire you.
Yeah.
And mine was always an African-based
Are
photographer.
you already doing seminars in Holland? What
No,
are
no,
you
no. I
talking
mean,
about?
at school when I was there,
Oh,
we had to
yeah.
do this weekly
Okay,
thing.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and people would get so irritated with me, like, you know, we're in Europe now, kind of.
Oh yeah, they don't
got-
understand. How are
yeah.
you trying to tell us that, you know?
Exactly, but you'd be
Oh.
surprised. We have so many amazing people.
Amazing.
We just, I think, photography is just now getting tapped into. Or-
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And everybody now, if you finish school, you're getting a camera. You're getting a camera.
yeah.
It's like Oprah is out here handing out cameras.